Hi everyone. So yesterday I was making, I was working on a video, um, and it had me, think about something that I kind of think about a lot, which is the fact that I feel like a robot a lot of the time. Um, at least, when I'm thinking about like the way I base my opinions and the thoughts that I have, and just the way that my brain works. So, like most people, I used to hold a lot of my opinions um, basing them off of emotion and the emotional value of opinions and the way I feel about certain opinions and the way I feel dictate what my opinions were. Mine was a little bit the way that worked was a little bit different for me. Because I have morality OCD, which that would guide the emotions that I would have, and those would guide the opinions that I had, and they still do somewhat, but not as much, not nearly as much. They do a little bit now, but not nearly as much as they used to. But a while back, I slowly started to base my opinions more off of logic. So now I pretty much hold almost all of my opinions, with the exception of maybe only two that I can really think of with pure logic. So I pretty much, the way I think of it is, I use a cost-benefit analysis pretty much on my opinion. So I'll think about the benefits and the costs of something, and if the benefits outweigh the costs for that opinion, then uh, then it's the opinion that I hold. But if the costs outweigh the benefits, then I do not hold that opinion. So if the good outweighs the bad, then I'll take that opinion. If the bad outweighs the good, then I won't take that opinion. So I use logic to deduce what is right and wrong and what's best for society. I feel like a lot of people don't really see the whole picture or see past the trees, but I feel like I do. And that's where that's what I try to do the most, is I try to look at the whole picture. If something seems kind of wrong now, but will work better in the long run, I'm going to take that opinion over something that feels nice now, but logically will end up worsening things in the long run. Because of that, I hold many opinions that people today villainize, or society views as the wrong opinion to have. So I feel like I'm kind of a robot for that. I feel very bad for a lot of my opinions because of that. There's a lot of opinions that I have where I generally just feel shame about and I don't feel good having. But I feel like I'm a robot for thinking like this and having the opinions that I have. I feel like I'm not like other people in this way. And if people, in my life, or just regular people that I interact with on the daily, if they knew all of the opinions that I had, I fear that they wouldn't like me. I fear that I won't be able to find love because of this, and especially, I live in California. A lot of my thoughts that I have are very incompatible with the liberal way of thinking. Um, and that's because I kind of think that they are victims of the emotional tie to their opinions. They think too much with emotions and not enough logically. So the reason I wanted to make this video today was because I was working on another video, which I'll probably upload today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. But I was talking about children being used as sacrificial lambs today in the political climate, especially with the left. But I was specifically, I was talking about the invasion of the border in Spain. Um, my opinion, pretty much, well, it makes me feel bad, but I logically feel in the long run, it is the best option for the people of the country to have, for the women and children too, and for the women and children that are coming into the country. So the opinion that I have, I don't know, it sounds and makes me feel wrong, but logically, the way I think of it, I know in the long run, it will save the women and children who are being used as sacrificial lambs coming over to the country, and it will save the people of the country, who you should be thinking of first. You should always think of your people in your country first and their safety. Their safety comes first, so they will be better and safer in the long run, and the children and women being used will also be safer in the long run as well. So my opinion is essentially that people who invade your country, you have to shoot them because you don't know who they are, what they're gonna do. They're coming in with completely different cultural values than you. Who knows if they're gonna integrate well? You haven't vetted them yet because they never went through that process. They could completely be incompatible with your culture. And we see that happen all the time with people of different cultures coming to countries. Oftentimes incompatible with the current established culture and end up performing obscene actions in that culture that are acceptable in their home country with their culture. But if you, so my opinion is, people who invade your country, you have to let them know that you're serious about your rules and defending your border. And if that means shooting them, then that means shooting them. Um, you know, uh, if you don't let them know that you're going to enforce your, if you let them know you won't enforce your borders, people will continue to be sacrificed across the border. But if you let them know you are enforcing your rule, people will stop sacrificing their women and children, which was happening. They were using women and children to cross the border and left them behind, especially children that I saw. I saw videos of children being left behind and having to be rescued by Spain's border patrol. If you let them continue to do this and you show that you're not going to enforce your border, then they are going to continue to invade and they're going to put children and women in harm's way. So, in the long run, I think the best thing to do is to do whatever you can to enforce your borders again, whether that be shooting them, but showing that you mean business about what you're doing, about your rules and all of that. So the same thing goes with, for example, with the ICE protests. I saw women bringing children so they wouldn't be gassed or shot, but you should gas the crowd if they're out of hand, and you should shoot the people who are posing a threat. And if you don't, they will continue to bring their kids here and put them in danger. They will continue, if you show that you're not going to be serious about upholding the law, then your children, they will continue to bring their children there and put them in harm's way, which is evil in my opinion, and in the long run will end up harming the children more. So I have noticed that a lot of people do not think this way generally, and people who do are villainized for it. You know, so a lot of the opinions that I hold, they feel harsh to me and sound harsh, but if you look at them logically, they make sense for the safety of, the world and society and the people in it. People don't really realize that the world is not black and white. It is very gray. A lot of things that seem wrong or bad must be done to preserve society. And people also don't really think about the fact that sacrifices have to be made in order to keep society running. But people don't understand that. They think that they need to do what makes them feel right and what makes them feel okay inside, and that's the right thing to do. And whatever that comes next, that after that happens, let it be. It's not my problem or my fault, even if it's very wrong. It's the trolley problem. These people don't understand. These are the type of people who will take the trolley problem and will choose not to pull the lever at all, any lever. They'll do nothing and let everyone die, and they feel that they're not responsible for anyone's death because of it. But they'll make them feel bad if they know that they're responsible for any of the deaths, so they won't pull any of the levers. So everyone dies and none of the levers have been pulled, but they feel they're not responsible and they did the right thing. When in reality, they killed everyone and they did the worst possible option. So holding this way of thinking, it makes me feel like a villain, and I feel like a robot the way I do it. Because I'm not thinking emotionally, I'm thinking purely logically. I guess it's kind of like, Spock versus James, was it James T. Kirk or whatever, in Star Trek? I feel like I'm Spock a lot of the time. I'm not thinking in regards to emotion, and I'm thinking mostly logically. And I think most people should do that. And a part of this, well, actually, I think everyone should do that, but a part of this, is because of my OCD as well. Some people with OCD, they do have a hard time empathizing with people and holding a lot of sympathy. And I think I hold a lot of sympathy for specific people, and empathy, but there's a lot of people that I don't hold it for. I feel like I have a hard time in general having empathy, and I think it's because of my OCD. And I think that, that kind of contributes to this robotic way of thinking that I do. even though I feel it's right, I still kind of feel wrong for it in a way, you know? But, um, I mean, like, it makes me feel like a terrible person all the time, and I hate that feeling for holding, my opinions that I have, but I'm not willing to let go of them because someone has to hold these opinions. Someone has to think like this because it is the correct way to think, in my opinion. It's the best way to have the fewest amount of casualties possible and the longest running, succeeding societies are to have the opinions that I feel that I hold. Um, yeah, just for me, man, I don't know, man. It feels wrong, a lot of the opinions that I have because, well, again, life is gray. And if you want to do what's right, sometimes you gotta do what feels wrong. And I think that happens a lot, more than we really hope would happen in life. You've got to do what feels wrong to get to what is actually right. But yeah, that's just kind of the thoughts that I have. Um, Song of the day. Let's think of a song of the day. I usually think of one beforehand, but I haven't this time. Let's go with Cobra by Geese. Yeah, that's a good song. Anyways, yeah, so let me know if any of you think this way or if you, feel the same way. Yeah, also, I'm wearing my baseball team's uniform right now. Our season just ended. We got kicked out of the playoffs. We won one playoff game, so that was good. But yeah, that's about it.